Welcome to the Downtown Happenings Podcast, and I'm Jason Nielsen, president of Downtown Madison, Inc., and we've got another great conversation here for you today about childcare with our friends at Red Caboose Child Care Center. Before we begin, I want to thank our sponsors, American Family Insurance. American Family Insurance opened its first offices in downtown Madison in 1927, and its downtown presence continues today with the Spark Building, which is home to the American Family Insurance Institute for Corporate and Social Impact, and the Dream Bank, an inspirational community space. Still based in Madison, American Family's mission is to inspire, protect, and restore dreams through exceptional products, services, and community partnerships. Today on the podcast, we've got two for the price of one. We've got two great friends from Red Caboose Child Care Center, and they've got big things happening. We are welcoming Pam Skeel, the new executive director at Red Caboose, and Lisa Fiala, who is the project administrator for Red Caboose. Welcome, Pam, and welcome, Lisa. How are you both doing?
Hi, Jason. How are you?
We're doing all right. We're doing all right. We're excited to hear childcare is a big topic, and I know you all have a big project just on the eastern side of downtown that is happening today. So we can't wait to dig in with both of you. So the first question we have today is, the Red Caboose is an institution here in downtown Madison. Why is it so important that Red Caboose stays downtown and is a big part of downtown? Why is childcare so important to the economic health of downtown? Either one can start. Pam or Lisa, you name it. I can answer the question. I think it's really important. No.
I could jump in and then Lisa can tag team if she feels so inclined. Mm-hmm. It's always been part of our heritage to be here within the realms of downtown Madison. Downtown Madison is such a culturally rich environment, and it has so much of Red Caboose's qualities ingrained within their culture, and on the flip side of that, ingrained into ours as well. So there really is no better place for us to be than in downtown Madison. And why is the childcare so important, just not here, but throughout Madison, is, we have families who are going off and trying to support their family, and they're trying to make lives better and enrich their family's well-being. And we just want to be there to go along with the ride. We want to be there to support those families. We want them to be able to go out there and become a part of something that's bigger than they are. And in the meantime, give them a safe space to leave their children and give the children an opportunity to learn and to thrive and be a part of that cultural, melting pot, if you would say, of experiences that Madison is so well known for.
And also just the access. It's easier to get downtown, right? And then move with being on Willie Street and being on the bus routes. We've had access to folks from the west side, the south side, the north side, and downtown, either by bike, by bus, easily by car. And so when we were looking to relocate, that was a huge part of where we wanted to, or what we wanted to consider, is just continuing to have access and to breaking down as many of those transportation barriers as possible. So with East Washington, we'll still be on a major bus route. We'll be closer to the north side. We'll still have access to some neighborhoods that are newer to us on the south side and the east side. So that's why, just like the access, and as people are traveling from different parts of the city, will be right in their path. So hopefully an easy stop from their home to wherever their place of employment is.
Access, I think, is so important. And I think we learned in the pandemic when, people were stuck and they didn't know what to do with childcare. People now see how important, I think they always did see how important it was, but they now really see how important childcare is for the economic vitality, but also the moral and just the right thing to do to make sure we're taking care of our kids, right? I have a 6-month-old child myself, and sometimes he's in my lap in meetings, and That is not perfect. You want to have great childcare provided like we have at Red Caboose. You want to have access to it. I think that brings us to the next question about location. And you all have an amazing project going up as we speak on Winnebago and on East Washington Avenue. Why did you all want to invest in this new facility? And what does this new facility, how does it help the mission of Red Caboose to help every kid around in the community?
Wow. So as Pam said, we've been a part of this community for a really long time. We just celebrated our 50th anniversary of providing care in Madison. And because of the high quality of care that we've been able to provide for so long, our waiting lists continue to grow. And as we're recognizing childcare is just more and more essential as we're moving forward, and waiting list continues to grow. And even before the pandemic, we recognized we just needed to expand. We've loved ourselves out of our new site. We need more space to take care of more children. And this site on East Washington really fits that need on a lot of levels. So we have created an incredible partnership with Moving Out Incorporated. So with them, we were able to build a 21,000 square foot facility all on the first floor. And then they have 3 floors of apartments on top. So 2 nonprofit mission-based organizations really working together to provide accessible, affordable housing with accessible, affordable childcare. And we really couldn't have been able to do this without their partnership. So the location worked really well in terms of what I just talked about in terms of accessibility by vehicle, but then we're able to expand from 4 classrooms to, over the next few years, we'll have 11 classrooms open. So we're adding 2 infant rooms, a couple of toddler rooms, a mixed age group, and then 3-year-old rooms, 4-year-old room, and eventually an on-site after-school program. So we're tripling our enrollment. We're tripling the type of care that we provide. It's accessible in terms of not just for the wider range of age and for the transportation piece, but also through our scholarships, and then also the integrative accessibility part where like our playground spaces are inclusive and accessible. So folks with different mobility needs will also be available or have a space for care, which also works with that moving out piece from upstairs. So
Significant growth. And I think that's so important.
Yeah.
You all are national leaders in what you do and in childcare. And I think we're seeing across the country, not just in Madison, which Pam mentioned that this is an issue all throughout the country, that we have a crisis in childcare. This is a big question, but Pam, how do we get through this childcare crisis? Obviously, you all are doing what you can by tripling the amount of students that you have in your facility. What else needs to be done to ensure we have fantastic childcare for everyone that needs it in our country?
I think first and foremost, there needs to be not only recognition of the situation that the childcare community is in, but there also needs to be a sense of urgency regarding it. I'm earning my master's degree, and actually I'm doing a paper on this right now, as I had mentioned to Lisa yesterday. And across our nation, there is an alarming rate of daycare facilities, childcare facilities that are closing just because they can't afford to stay open. Inflation has hit hard after the pandemic. The price of just about everything has risen. And on that note, tuition cost has raised along with it. And we are devoted to, being sure that we can give affordable daycare to those that need it the most. And that's the families here in Wisconsin. We don't want to become another statistic. We don't want to be in the paper as, the Red Caboose is closing after 50 years. We have a stronghold within this community, and we are determined to stay the course. And that course is to always be able to provide affordable daycare and that service to our families so they don't have to worry about where their child is going to be going tomorrow. There's so many families, just not within Madison, that are worried about the uncertainties of where that childcare provider could possibly be. And then they're consistently worried about losing their job because of not being able to find consistent daycare. And it's just not so much consistent daycare, it's a daycare that you can trust and that you feel at ease dropping your child off with. And we're committed to being able to provide that service to the families because the families deserve it, the children deserve it. Madison's economy deserves it. And it's really, I would hate to say it's a shame, but it's almost, you could almost be thankful for COVID in some way for bringing this crisis to light and making it become more of an awareness, and having that awareness be recognized and understand that this is important. This is an important factor for many families, just not in Madison, just not in Wisconsin, but across the board.
A lot of it seems to come down to it's a resource issue, and what resources does this country put into childcare, whereas other countries across the nation, obviously put more resources into it. What do we do to advocate for more resources into childcare? These are big questions. Sorry.
No, you're fine, and I'm sure.
Though. Yeah.
And this is something that my counterpart Lisa there is very, very passionate about. So I'm sure after I make my statement, she's going to have an earful as well. But you just got to keep bringing that recognition to the forefront. You just have to keep advocating for the cause. You need to keep making sure that our lawmakers are aware of the situation. You need to make sure that the communication is out there and explaining why. I think everybody understands why it's important, but that's just the surface of it. It's not getting down into the nitty gritties. People don't understand that, our childcare teachers and teachers across the board, I know I keep saying across the board, but across the board, they're not doing it for the pay. These teachers, they have degrees, they have associate's degrees, they have bachelor's degrees. They could go just about anywhere and make a difference within a school district and get paid more, sometimes twice as much. They are here as an early childhood educator because they have a passion for it. They want to be able to instill those ideals. And by ideals, I mean helping that child tie their shoes, but also helping them learn how to become friends with any child that walks into the building. And there's a true passion for that. And I don't think that passion is quite recognized as well as it should be.
And with that, people can't live on passion alone, right? Like in order to keep our teachers in the doors, they need to have higher quality pay. We have amazing staff, and we've been able to do, hold people for 50 years within our walls, right? We have a teacher who's been with us almost since the beginning of our opening, and she does fantastic work and is a fantastic mentor and has been a key player in helping other teachers stay just as long. I think our retention rates, even after the pandemic, quote unquote, is it's still higher than traditional childcare centers, right? We have teachers who've been with us 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. Somebody just celebrated their 20th anniversary with us this summer. And we offer full benefits, retirement packages, all those things, but people need to have a proper hourly rate to live. And how can we do that without having to raise rates, right? It's this whole trifecta of, we want to make it affordable. We want to have teachers that stay with us and have quality life, right? They need to not have to be able to choose between meals and rent. So really, I mean, we definitely need to have our government step in and start, I hate using the word subsidize, but subsidizing our programs and being an active part of making sure that our childcare programs can stay active and provide high quality, consistent teachers, consistent programming so that our families can go to work, right? So that they too can have don't have to make those choices between paying for childcare and which groceries that they can take home. So.
And just, one of many different things we need to be advocating for
Mhm.
early childhood education. It's so important. All the science, all the data tells us this as well. And you are leaders in this, right? You're an innovative organization that takes childcare to the next level. And you really understand the importance of childhood creativity. You understand the importance of critical thinking and problem solving. Why is it so important for you all to make sure that you're investing and kids are learning these skills while they're at Red Caboose early on in their life? Why is it so important that children learn these skills right from age 0?
So brain development is the biggest between 0 to 3, right? Like that's when children have the largest growth in terms of their emotional development, their social skills, their all of those things of like being a human being happens between 0 and 3. So the more that we can provide high quality care, consistent care for these children, the better the impact is going to be 20 years down the road. I mean, there's statistics that show that if children are getting the care that they need, whether it's in, a group center like Red Caboose, whether it's in a family program, whether it's at home, right? Like, and they're getting those needs met, the impacts of them in terms of how they succeed academically in high school, whatever their post-high school option is, right? And then also what that means for society and our economy, right? And how people are contributing to being a part of our community really starts at age 0. So that's like a big foundational piece of like recognizing those social emotional development pieces as young in our 1-year-old classroom. So we start taking a look at like, what are the words that they can use? What are the facial recognitions, and start building up from there so that they're making good friends and recognizing their own self-regulation that they can have. And if we recognize that like children are outside of this curve of learning and development, that the sooner that we can get some of those resources in to support those children and families, the better off that they'll be when they go to public school or whatever their post childcare life looks like.
And to piggyback off of Lisa, you can see as early as the 1-year-old room, you can look at them and you can think, I can see that little boy or a little girl for that matter. They could be one of our government's leaders down the road. It's shaping, it's forming, it's establishing a path for them that they can truly be successful at. And to be a part of that, it's both exciting and heartwarming, but even more so, it's humbling, because here we are at Red Caboose being teachers, knowing that someday little Miss Susie could be the next vice president of the United States, or little Mr. Tommy could be the next head of the CIA. You could see that these personalities are blossoming, and we have to give them that place where they can continue to blossom.
One small example, but several DMI board members are Red Caboosers. They went to Red Caboose as a child, and so they've done quite well. Last question for us today is, what can DMI members do to help Red Caboose right now?
Help spread the recognition. Help be the voice because right now I feel like it's at a whisper, and it needs to become a lot louder. And just to be able to have that drumbeat behind the rally, that would be extremely beneficial.
And Lisa?
I mean, absolutely. That advocacy piece, not just for Red Caboose, for childcare in general, I think is like the key port to keep us all thriving and active so we can support families and our community members. And also take a look at our website. We're still in the process of a capital campaign for our new facility, right? So take a look at our website, reach out to me. I love giving tours of our new place. And we'll have a grand opening and we're going to get there. So please support us with our capital campaign as well. We want to provide a beautiful home for our children and for the families who come and for educating their littles in our building. So that's a great way to support us.
Well, let's all support our friends at Red Caboose.
Mhm.
All right. We're not going to end this conversation there. We're going to ask our Fast and Furious 5. We're going to ask
No,
5
no.
questions. Lisa remembers this. She's been on before. But
Yes.
Pam, surprise. We're going to ask 5 questions. Easy questions, Pam. Don't worry. And whatever comes to the top of your mind, just say it. All right. Are you ready?
Sure.
Yep.
Okay. What is your favorite place for kids downtown? Besides Red Caboose. I mean, that's that. Yeah.
I know my first thing is like our new playground. So I like State Street. I love taking kids to State Street and just checking out the terrace and the stores and the coffee shops, hanging out State Street.
Love it. What about you, Pam?
I would say go into the lake. We are avid outdoors people. And my husband loves being on a boat, whether it just be a little raft or a bigger boat, but we love to be on the water, near the water.
I love it. We're so lucky to be on an isthmus. Most people don't even know what an isthmus is, and we are on one. Okay, what's your favorite kid-friendly restaurant downtown?
Ian's Pizza.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Mhm.
Pam?
So I'm not from the Madison area, so this is gonna,
Okay.
this
okay.
this is gonna be a trick question for me.
You can answer it however you want, Pam.
Okay, Lisa, the best place I would take my kids to besides pizza.
I only take my kids for pizza.
Kids do like pizza. Adults like pizza.
Okay, so we would go eat pizza with Lisa then.
Mhm.
There you go. I like it. All right, what's your favorite adult restaurant downtown? Maybe that's a little easier. Where would you want to go? Right now, you have a hankering for what restaurant downtown?
Bandung.
Oh, that right next to your old place.
Yes. I mean,
Yeah.
that is,
So good.
I
Yeah.
would say that's the go-to for the entire establishment here is Bang Dong. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say this. Careful when you put the spice on, because it can get
it's,
spicy at that
Mhm.
restaurant. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
and
All
they're
right.
Red Caboose alumni. So, I
There you
mean,
go. There you go.
Yes.
See, they're every
Yes.
Pam. They are everywhere. They are
And
everywhere.
they are.
All
They
right.
are.
So you just had a hot meal from Bandung, which is delicious. You're going to get ice cream at Babcock. What's your favorite flavor of Babcock ice cream? Cool that mouth down.
anything that has lots of chunks in it, caramel, salty, chocolate, peanut butter. If it has all the goo, that's what I'll be
You're in.
ordering.
You're in.
Mhm. Mhm.
Pam,
I'm gonna say anything with chocolate.
good choice. All right, last
Thanks.
question. Your favorite day downtown. What do you do on your favorite day downtown?
That one's easy for me. I have a 17-year-old daughter who's going to be going off to college soon, debatable where. I'm crossing fingers for UW, right? But she is infatuated with bigger cities, and I live in Monroe. So we come to Madison, and then she loves just to walk downtown, like just loves to be with amongst the shops, all the different kinds of people. She just loves that atmosphere, and Madison is spot on her speed.
I like that answer. Very downtown answer. Very
Yep.
downtown answer. Lisa, what about you?
I think very similar. We go to the terrace, listen to some music, have ice cream, adult beverages, walk Lakeshore paths, just be outside with music and friends. Mhm.
There is a reason why the Union is the #1 visited tourist attraction in downtown. You
Mhm.
put beer, you put ice cream, you put everything on a lake. It
Mhm.
is fantastic. All right. Lisa Fiala and Pam Skeel from Red Caboose Child Care Center. please go check out their new facility. Take Lisa up on the offer for a tour. It's fantastic, right on Winnebago on East Washington Avenue. Thank you for all you're doing, and thank you for putting your resources into expanding threefold all of the children that can take part in the amazing educational opportunities that are at Red Caboose. Thank you both for joining us here on the Downtown Happenings podcast. I'm Jason Ilstrup. We'll see you soon, and thanks to our friends at American Family. We'll see you downtown.